WWE has moved into the O2 Arena in London for its annual Money in the Bank pay-per-view, in which the fortune of two competitors could change in a women's and men's ladder match forever. Elsewhere on the bill, the Bloodline engaged in a bitter civil war, and Seth defended the World Heavyweight Championship against Finn Balor. And yeah, packed card, next up on the road to SummerSlam. Let's get straight into it. And we start things off with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Damian Priest built on a breakout performance of Backlash against Bad Bunny by earning the biggest win of his career at the top of the brief Money in the Bank match, winning the men's same title belt and guaranteed the championship opportunity at some time over the next year. To do so, he beat the People's Choice LA Knight, who even managed to in defeat. The crowd was totally behind him, but a late push by the Archer of Infamy doomed him to defeat. And yeah, the crowd is still desperate for a Knight win, meaning he will likely continue to do so. And as WWE does not fumble the ball, it's going to happen at some point. Kudos also to Logan Paul, who took big bumps in this and protected his image as such a great wrestler so far in his time. And the match is better for him being there. And yeah, I think all of the competitors really added something to the match. And yeah, for the first match, it was an absolute banger to kick off. And yeah, really, I think Damien is going to be an underrated Money in the Bank. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do with it. But it's then time for the women's tag title match. Shayna Baszler stole the headlines in this match, and when she attacked Ronda Rousey, leaving the baddest woman on the planet to endure the Taija bomb and the Oblivion. Moments later, Raquel and Livin earned a measure over Rousey. And regained the titles they never lost. The crowning of the new champions was secondary to the big angle that unfolded, with the commentary team questioning why Baszler had suddenly attacked her friend, not just querying to create intrigue, but listening questioning it because it made zero sense of the context of the build to the match or anything that happened. Maybe she was fed up with the USC Hall of Fame 3 in the spotlight, but the chance of being so infrequently, there was no time for this to appropriately pay out. It was a booking decision that felt kind of a bit rushed, but with the stuff that's happening, but the impending story is going to be very interesting. And yeah, it does seem like because of the Rousey by kind of get out after SummerSlam, it seems why that's happened. But yeah, I don't know, it's an interesting one. And we'll have to see in the studio. I really am looking forward to the feud and big match at SummerSlam. But yeah, did come very out of the blue. But at the same time, very happy for Liv and Raquel, even though I thought we were going to get a long Shayna and Ronda title run. But I'm going to let this one play out. It gets 7 out of 10 from me. The IC title was then on the line as Gunther took on Matt Riddle. Sunday felt like a casual day at the office for Gunther, who quickly targeted the NTL ankle of Riddle and ultimately tapped him out with an ankle lock to defend his title. The match itself was perfectly acceptable for wrestling, but was secondary to what occurred afterwards. Drew McIntyre returned to WWE for the first time since WrestleMania 39 to a thunderous invasion and laid out the ring general, making it clear he wants the title. It was a noteworthy moment that silenced questions about the contractual status of the Scottish Warrior for the time being. And yeah, it seems like we're going to get that at SummerSlam, and that really could steal the entire show. I really can't wait for that now. The pot was great. But yeah, get 7 out of 10 from me. Good match, like I say, but it's kind of all leading up to that moment. That's exactly what I think the UK fans wanted. So yeah, really enjoyed it. 7 out of 10. It was then time for Cody v Dominic. With or without Ripley by his side, Dominic never stood a chance against Cody. You'd have thought. The American Nightmare overcame multiple attempts of interference and defeated Mysterio in what amounted to probably what was a nice little TV match. Nothing on here happened with consequence of any real gain storyline. It was an excuse to give both guys the card and give Rose a win after his loss to Brock Lesnar in Saudi Arabia for Night Champions. Nothing more, nothing less. This is far from a bad thing, as Mysterio got the opportunity to work a main event guy and got experience working it, and Rose will be better for it too. So yeah, kind of a bit low key, a bit under the radar, but you know, that was all it was ever going to be. And yeah, kind of served its purpose in, you know, not a bad way at all. So yeah, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. But up next at Money in the Bank, we got a massive surprise with John Cena appearing and hitting the ring and pandering to the crowd and campaigning for WrestleMania to be staged in London. Yes, 1,000 times less. Grayson Waller interrupted and argued for Australia instead, and he issued several backhanded compliments to the 16-world champion. A sneak attack and by the heel and attitude adjustment from the babyface wrapped up a noteworthy time for the Tuesday historic pay-per-view and gave us a surprise of Cena appearance and presented Waller an opportunity to go mic to mic with a top score. The early loudmouth succeeded and likely won some over behind the scenes of the way Austin Theory didn't quite manage to earlier in the year. And yeah, big moment for Austin Theory. I'd love to see that match at some point. But yeah, breakout moment for Waller. Amazing to see Cena and WrestleMania in the UK. Give it to me, please. But it's then time for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Much like Priest earlier night, Ian Sky followed up with a breakout performance at Backlash with a Money in the Bank win, overcoming the selfish intent of her friend Bayley and cleverly handcuffing her to Lynch before securing a title opportunity. Trish, after the first ladder match of her career, took some quality bumps despite some early struggles with the ladder itself. Speaking of bumps, Zoe Stark took a nasty one from Selena, who impressed once again in the limited spot. Sky was probably winning the whole thing, was right, and providing the jealousy necessary for Bayley to completely create a very interesting storyline. The match is really fun, and yeah, whether it be a match with Oscar or Ripley down the line, I'm very excited to see which way it goes. So yeah, it gets an 8 out of 10 for me. For me, the right winner, a really good match and a decent bit of good storytelling and mixed into good stuff. Seth Rollins then faced Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight title. The same mounting frustration that threatens to destroy Damage Control threatened the Judgment Day thanks to the tension between Finn and Priest. Priest teased cashing in on the Money in the Bank briefcase in the middle of the World Heavyweight Championship match between the Irishman and Rollins, with the movement distracting, allowing the Visionary to secure a successful title defense. We see Balor backstage chatting out star people JD McDonough and creating questions about his commitment to the Judgment Day, and with tension between him and Priest now at an all-time high, it would not be interesting to see Balor excommunicated from the faction and returning as a babyface against Priest, who will assume leadership of the faction. As for the match, the two competitors have wicked in-ring chemistry, and this was as good as advertised. It could have maybe even got a few more minutes, but yeah, this was a very, very good bout with great storytelling as well. And yeah, I think Judgment Day is gold and needs something big soon, so it gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Really like this. It was then time for the Bloodline Civil War, the Usos defeating Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa in the main event, with Jey Uso becoming the first star to pin the Tribal Chief over 3 years. It was a phenomenal contest, a representation of various stories and angles that have occurred to the entirety of Reigns' dominant run at the top. Left alone following the disposal of Sikoa to the floor, the Tribal Chief faltered and failed. It was a banner moment of the careers of all involved, most importantly the Usos, Jimmy and Jey benefiting from their partnership, beating Reigns and achieving newfound heights in WWE that delivered the performance of their careers. The fans responded accordingly. The commentary team put over the enormity of the moment, and we can now look forward to the next chapter. And yeah, Tribal Chief v main event Jey at SummerSlam is looking very likely. And after this, yeah, just an incredible moment. For me, it's absolutely the right decision. Playing out that match beautifully. Great stuff. 9 out of 10. But overall this week, Money in the Bank gets an 8 out of 10 for me. Yeah, really thought this was a brilliant pay-per-view. All held by the crowd, of course. UK crowd remain undefeated as per. But yeah, the matches, the storytelling, for me, a lot of the right winners throughout the show. Yeah, on the whole, it was just very, very good. So yeah, it gets an 8 out of 10 for me. But anyway, guys, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Never thought coming over daily wrestling news and subscribe to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.